We're live for Thursday, September 24th.
This headlines. If you saw the movie All That Jazz, you know quite a bit about Bob Fosse, the brilliant director-choreographer who died Wednesday evening at the age of 60. Fosse directed this thinly disguised autobiographical film. His life ended when he had a heart attack in front of his hotel in Washington, D.C., just about the time the curtain was going up on a revival of his show, Sweet Charity. Ironically, a revival of Cabaret, his movie of that show won him an Oscar, is also playing in the nation's capital. With more on the life and work of this theater legend, here's Cynthia Tornquist.
Nobody made a Broadway musical move like Bob Fosse, and he won 9 Tony Awards doing it, the last in 1986 for his choreography for Big Deal.
You gotta reach for the stars. You gotta follow that rainbow.
Fosse usually stopped the show with dance numbers that included jazzy positions, snapping fingers, thrust pelvises, and angular movements. The style became Fosse's trademark. His formula for choreography, though, came from the heart.
You'd like to entertain the people, give them a certain amount of razzle-dazzle, but some genuine sentiment, some laughter.
Ironically, Fosse died doing what he loved best. Fosse was in Washington, D.C. rehearsing a company of the musical revival of Sweet Charity in preparation for its opening at the National Theater Wednesday night. He collapsed on a Washington sidewalk and died of a heart attack shortly before the curtain was to go up. His former wife, Gwen Verdon, was at his side.
He makes stars out of people, and he sure keeps the audience entertained.
Fosse was the son of a vaudeville singer. While he devoted his early career to his own talents, he also helped launch the careers of others.
It gave me vision and focus. That's what it did. That's what Bob did. You know, he takes you and he molds.
And you have to do it over and over and over until he decides what it is he wants. So very often we did 2 and 3 versions of a number until he saw what it was he wanted, but it's worth it always.
In 1973, Fosse became the first director in history to win the Oscar, Tony, and Emmy Awards in a single year for his triumphs in the film version of Cabaret, the Broadway musical Pippin, and the television special Liza with a Z. He also won Tony Awards for Sweet Charity and Damn Yankees. The film All That Jazz even loosely chronicled his own life. And through it all, he gained the respect and admiration of his peers. Cynthia Tornquist, CNN New York.
He taught me a lot about acting. He taught me a lot about the rehearsal process. He was the one person that really made me consider studying acting.
Well, do you know anything about me?
Time Step was wonderful.
That's The Last Chase. You didn't see Time Step, did you?
No, but I'm going to.
He choreographed a whole dance number for me and Ben Vereen, the point of which was that Ben Vereen was trying to show me the steps, and I couldn't really do them. But still, I did get to dance, and he gave me steps that I could do, and that I actually ended up looking pretty good doing, which was all his magic.
I don't want to talk anymore.
What do you want to do?
I'll remember him from my dressing room, sitting there as my director, giving me notes and begging me not to do my nightclub act and making me much better than I ever was before on stage. And I'll just miss his spirit as a human being, and I'm just sorry that I won't see him again.
Joining us now live in our New York studio is freelance writer Kevin Grubb, who did the last major print interview with Bob Fosse for Dance Magazine. And you did that when Bob was working on his last Broadway show, a show that was not a great success, Kevin, but that he thought was good work?
Well, yes, he certainly did. He believed Big Deal was the crowning achievement of his career.
And he did win a Tony Award for it, but the critics didn't care for it. What was he like? At the time you talked to him, he was 58, 59 years old. He had had that major heart surgery. Was he still burning bright?
Oh, sure. I expected to see a Broadway titan, and he actually seemed a little bit humbled. But he was very, very enthusiastic about Big Deal, and he was very anxious to promote it because he knew he wasn't getting the kind of attention from the press that he wanted.
As a person who I think is a dancer and certainly works and writes about dancing, What was it about his choreography that was special to you?
Well, he came from an old school of Jack Cole, which was very important because it's a kind of Broadway choreography which a lot of choreographers have not been so successful in imparting to their dancers. Bob Fosse and Gwen Verdon were excellent examples of progenitors of Jack Cole, and consequently they have given that technique to their dancers. It's become a legacy for Broadway.
Kevin, thank you very much for being with us today to share your memories of Bob.
Thank you.
For the past 3 decades, the growth and the development of the American musical theater was mainly the work of 3 supremely talented director-choreographers. They were Jerome Robbins, Bob Fosse, and Michael Bennett, in that order. They came along in about 10-year intervals to inject their magic into so many hit shows. Now, ironically, the 2 younger men, Bob Fosse and Michael Bennett, are gone within a very short space of time. To ask who will replace Bob Fosse is the same as asking who will replace Fred Astaire. The answer is simple: no one.